And go. Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome to Coffee with Kass. It's been a series of 4 weeks with the coffee each week. And today is the end of the month, and it's the beginning of something extraordinary. Please join me in welcoming Miss Sonia from Vienna, whom I met this month, right, Sonia? Did we meet at the beginning of the month? I think you might be on silence, darling.
Yeah. Yes, right. We met 1 month before.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it was magic. It was just magic.
Exactly.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about you, Sonia.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm really happy that we met there. So I didn't expect to meet a person like you in Italy. I was 3 days in Rome and with my son, and it happened that we had to meet. So yeah,
For
I
me, it's like this ask and you shall receive. It was so funny.
yeah.
I was in a conversation in the morning, and my brother-in-law comes upstairs and he says, "Listen, there's someone at the bed and breakfast, and they're speaking English, and I need a little bit of help." So he never asked me for help. So I go downstairs, and boom, there's Sonia with this gorgeous boy, her son, and magic starts being created.
And he told me that, oh, I think it's a problem of conversation, of communication. You have a problem of communication because we wanted to enter the Colosseum, and there were a lot of problems. And so he said, you have to go to speak to Kass because Kass is an expert in communication, and everything was solved out. It was very nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And also it's so funny because, Sonia, it's who from Switzerland. I've been talking with her a lot so that there's someone else, German speaking, whose name is Sonia in the same day that I'm communicating with Sonia. And then there's also Andrea on the line, who she lives in Rome, American like me, lives in Rome. And I wrote to her about you with your thing with the Colosseum. So it's really such an amazing time of fast creation and fast connection,
Mm-hmm.
in the world. I want to, when I met Sonia, first of all, I gifted her son. I had a copy of my 7 Steps to Flawless Communication book in German, and I gifted a copy to her son, of this book. And then she starts telling me how she speaks Greek in addition to English and German and Turkish. And she sings in those languages. And I'm like, universe, God, Allah, Buddha, thank you for sending me this amazing woman today when I'm asking what else is possible. It was just so amazing. And the way that she is inviting through music, through song, through different languages, people to connect with themselves, to connect with the earth, and it's just really gorgeous. So it's yeah. Tell us a bit about that, darling.
Yeah.
How you do that?
Yes. Music is a very important tool in my life. So I use it to communicate with people from other countries. Many of them, they don't know how to speak German or English, or just started learning German. So music is a very nice tool to communicate, to connect. And I use this tool now for, I think, 15 years. I did really several projects with children, with young adults, with women, bringing them together, like working with children from a mosque, Turkish mosque, an African church, and Austrian Catholic church, and bringing them together, singing together their songs, the Turkish ilahis and the church songs. So when you connect by singing, it is uh, you you enter another stage, another kind of space, I think. Yeah, like the brain um, stops working so hard, but you start communicating by heart, more by heart than by brain. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally get that too. The rhythm, it's connecting with your vibration, right?
yes,
Yeah.
and the sound also. The rhythm is one, and the sound. When you are singing in the same sound, the same frequency, you're on the same wave. Imagine you are standing on a board on the sea, a surfing board, and driving through the waves to the same waves. It's fantastic. You can feel the same energy. You feel oneness. And I think this is the basic, I think it's my opinion, it's the basic meaning of religion too. It's my opinion.
Is
Because
it your opinion or
oneness,
is it your awareness?
the
Is it your
oneness,
opinion? Is it your
the
point of
oneness,
view or is it your awareness?
yes, my awareness, I think. So the oneness or Tawheed in Islam, they say Tawheed, and in all these religions, it's very important to live this connectedness, the oneness. We are all one. They all say it, but sometimes I'm not sure if they really live it, because at the moment you are separating and you are differentiating someone and say, I'm good, you're bad. I'm right, you're wrong. You are building a wall between the other one, and you're not one anymore. So
Yeah. Well, you know, this divide and conquer concept
yeah,
goes back to ancient Roman times as well.
yes,
And it's quite in politics and in organized religions, but not like you're saying, not the basis, the core
yes.
of different religions. Go ahead and you know, we went on and on for our first coffee together was like 2 hours. So this is only an hour. So you go, you go.
But of course, all in these religions, you have like the mysticism, and also in the Hebrew tradition, yeah, you have this tradition of nigun. You know nigun. It's a kind of singing, and they really connect with their soul. They are connecting with the soul and going really deeply. Also in the tasawwuf music, in the Sufi music, yeah, it's very important to really to feel, to be connected. The connectedness is really important. So I think the religions, they have the possibility to get close to this, connect, to live it, to not only to understand this oneness, but um, they have the, yeah, uh, they could have the possibility to feel it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to connect with it,
yeah,
to connect with it. And I love that the music. I love music. It's like one of the vital elements of my life. And people who know me know, you know I always am singing. I love music. I said that to my husband once when we went from CDs, you know, to the computer, you know, Spotify and all the iTunes and all that. And this computer would have to be restarted, you
yeah,
know. So when I was desiring to hear a song or just to hear music, it would take so long. And I said to him, listen, this is a breaking factor for our relationship. I need to be able to hear music when I desire to. So either we get rid of this computer thing, get back the CDs, or you fix this, right? And so he got that it was quite, you know, serious. I mean, I said it in a joking way, but he got, wow, this is something that's vital to us. And you know, I had called this. We talked about this, Sonia, in Rome, and I had called this, you know, um, letting go of the dumbbell, right? And
yeah,
what's the difference between the infinite being and the space that we are,
Yeah.
and the soul,
Yeah.
right? And, what makes us up in this reality? Our bodies, our physical bodies, right? Our minds that are, part of the brain. We use the brain for that little slice called the mind, and the soul, and then there's the space between the molecules, the being that we are. And I really get, and you and I were talking about, wow, we're gonna sing on this call, we're gonna, play with it a little bit. And so much, Sonia, has been showing up. Okay. So much. I'll share some links with you, and also we'll put this on YouTube, and I'll share some links. So many things have been coming up about music, about song, and about singing.
Mm.
And I love that you utilize that capacity to unite people, to connect them to their oneness, to the oneness, the infinite space that we are. You utilize that vibration of the music, right? That sense, one of the senses of sound, to connect with them on a very basic level, regardless of the race, color, creed, language, religion, sex, any of that, and invite the world to recognize really what is possible if we're willing to be connected. And just a big hats off to you, and gratitude for that. And I'm so looking forward to us playing with that in the future.
I'm ready.
Some of the things that you do also with this singing in the woods, in the forest, on the mountains, and in different languages, and that have had you traveling the world and learning different languages. Um, what can you tell us about that? What was your inspiration, motivation, awareness? What?
There's an Arab poet, and he says, I'm traveling as long as I find my home. When I was in Israel, I saw these nice words, and I think I started traveling because I was searching for something. I had to go away from my home, from my house, my parents' house, go out, go out of this well-known area, go to the unknown, be confronted with also insecurity, of course, but um, I realized that when I'm traveling, I I don't feel as a foreigner. When I went to Syria in 1995, yeah, I had a great time. I felt like I was born there, or they were so close to me. I couldn't speak with them really well. Yeah? I knew just some words in Arab, but I could sing a little bit. I could sing a song, and I was singing in a park um, a man with a man. He brought some tea, and we were singing together. So I understood that we are really one family, and it doesn't matter if we don't speak the same language, but uh, we are connected, and I'm still connected with all the people I was traveling from the world. Yeah, and you are the same, I think. Yeah. So my little son, when he was, I think, 7 years or 8 years, we had been to India, to Kosovo, to Georgia, or to many countries together. And he said one day, when he was 7, I think, Mommy, it's like a ball inside, and every place we had been traveling to, there comes a light. There's a light shining on this ball. So imagine a ball inside, yeah, like the earth, and to all the places you had been, there's a light shining. And it's amazing, it's magic, yeah. When you have lived this when we have lived this, and you can feel it, um, you feel a very wide space around you, a connectedness, a oneness with the world. You don't feel like there's a border separating us. It cannot separate us. It's not logical. Um, yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
And when you come
and
back,
what a gift.
yeah, and when you
Go
come
ahead.
back home, you feel you can see many things you haven't seen before because you had been outside, yeah, and seeing how people are thinking in a different way, perhaps, or living in a different way. Perhaps they don't sit on a chair, but they sit on the floor, and you lift it and you said, wow, it's great. I love sitting on the floor. It helps me to connect with the earth much better. So in my home, I have some chairs, but I'm also sitting on the floor very often. It helps me. But I didn't know this before. In my parents' house, we were never sitting on the floor. But I learned so many things by traveling around. And I think,
It's one of the
yeah,
greatest educations that exist, travel, really.
yeah,
And yeah, and I'm hoping that we're inviting people to travel. We have normally people listening to these coffee with Cassis either now online with us or later on Zoom. They do travel. Uh, However, there is something different about travel, between travel and international and global and universal, knowing that you're always home. If you're on this earth, as a spirit, as body,
yeah,
right? You're always home. As a being, you could even travel to Mars and be home. So you're never out of place,
exactly.
And so, what a gift that is for your son to have chosen you as a mom and be able to travel with you like that. Yeah. And to go beyond words, also because words, um, sort of define, meaning, bring whatever we're aware of into something that is articulatable, which is, yes, depending on, you know, our capacity to articulate what we mean,
Yeah.
um, can it be exactly what we'd like to communicate. But the music, the vibration, which is before sound, sometimes things are vibrating and they never actually make it to the sound level, you know there because before sound there's a vibration that's what then creates the sound, right?
Mm.
So if we're so through music and through the singing, what you're inviting people to do is to turn up those antennas,
Mm.
so that they can pick up on people's vibes,
Yeah.
and their vibration, and that is just so cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to.
I've always
Yeah.
go ahead honey.
I don't know. I think it's time. I have the impulse to do some yodeling. Yodel.
Okay, tell us what yodeling
Because we were
is.
speaking about vibrations,
Yes.
and so we don't speak too much, but we also feel some
Okay,
vibrations.
cool. All right, cool, honey.
So it's a yodeling from Austria. And the funny thing is, when I had many friends from Turkey. We spent several nights singing all the nights. I haven't done this before because in my family, we were singing just at Christmas time, you can say. Yeah. So being in contact with these people from other countries, it brought me back to my tradition of singing. I had to learn it. I didn't learn from my parents yodeling, but being together with people from all over the world, yeah, I was learning their songs, and they asked me, of course, and please now sing some Austrian song, but I didn't know because we, because of this history of, it's another story, yeah, people really stopped singing in Austria for some time. they go to music school and learn singing, but singing at home, singing with your family, singing with your friends, when you just go out, yeah, and nobody has to sing perfect there. Yeah, nobody says, "Oh, I can't sing." Yeah, it's not
Yeah. You
necessary.
made
You
me
don't.
just think of my mom.
Yeah,
My mom, she's one of the, stars in the sky.
yeah.
And lots of times also communicating through the singing of the birds with me.
Oh, yeah.
But if she had, dementia, Alzheimer's for like 10 years. And once we were in Boston, where she is from, and we got her into the car, she was not connected. Got her into the back seat of the car, and we start taking off, and she's, in Alzheimer dementia phase. We turn on the music, and she's present. I think it's Macy Gray. I try to say goodbye and I choke. She's singing in the back of the car, so present. And it was just so awesome. So
Yeah.
how much healing, how much,
Yes.
health,
Yeah.
yeah, and riches can we be for people um, who are suffering in this reality through music. Yeah. What is yodeling?
Yodeling is a special kind of singing. You don't use really words. They don't mean anything. Yeah. Just sometimes in the end they say, uh, usually it doesn't has any meaning. Yeah. But
Okay.
it's a kind of calling. It's a kind of
Right.
calling. They did it in the mountains. So calling from one mountain to the other mountain, calling the animals, the cows.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it like yodeleo? No, that's not it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, of course, also, yeah. But very important, usually there are different voices. Sometimes the voices, they go together. They say they have the same melody and they go really together, but just some, um, yeah. Or they have different, they're like crossing each other. Yeah.
All right, let's
So
hear
when
it,
you have
baby.
two or three voices together, it's really great. So I do some yodeling, and
Yes.
this yodel imitates these alp horns. You know them, alp horns. They're really, it's an instrument in the mountains. It's a very long horn. And it's
Mm,
imitating the sound of this horn. So imagine you are on the mountains and you're listening to these horns, these alp
right.
horns. Yeah?
And it's so cool because we have people translating amazing capacities, right? Lorena, Loredana, and Thomas, but you don't have to translate yodeling because it's a sound.
Mhm.
Yeah. And this is the beauty and all that. So please enjoy, guys. Yeah. Well, that was amazing. Could speak? No, we can't hear you. Wow. So how much are you changing and you're shifting with that? Yeah, we're not hearing you. She's not muted anymore. Wow. One of the things, you keep talking, dear. When we can hear you again, then I'll stop talking. But one of the things I wanted to say about music and the uniting factor of music. Um, what was really amazing to me, I've been in Italy, living in Italy for about 20 years now. And every summer we go to the beach. And the music that is on the beach, most of the time, like 90%, if not 100%, is always African American, Black American music. And I grew up in Boston, I lived in New York, so I know a lot of musicians. And I've worked with musicians. I've done project management with lots of artists before. And what's incredible to me, and this is what we're talking about, what's incredible to me is I would look out on the beach, and the beach would be full of Italians, maybe even Germans. Lots of Germans come in there, but actually very few, if any, brown people, and certainly no African Americans. And I said, I wonder if people know in the hood, in the States, like who grew up with me, around me, that their music is bringing such joy to people on vacation. I mean, if you have that awareness of what your creative capacities through music, like Sonia's yodeling, and she's aware of this, can be, what contribution that can be to people, for them to be in a relaxed state. You know, the space of relaxation, we say in Access Consciousness. Would you be willing to get your voice out there more in the world? Would you be willing to share your vibration on a global level? Are you already doing that? And what would it take to be aware of that? Yeah, awesome. Sonia, you back? You might want to go out and come back in again, darling. I'm not sure what exactly happened. Does anyone, yeah, have any awareness of that? It's so funny. Tomas, who's on the line, a friend from Buenos Aires, we've been working together for several months. He's a singer. He sings opera. And so Buenos Aires, Argentina, Spanish, right? But he also translates, right? In English and Spanish. Then he also understands French. I knew that. He came on a free Zoom with me in French. So once I asked him if he would sing a song, and he starts singing in German. How multilingual and multicultural and global are we? That if we're willing to be that and share that with the world, would would create more oneness than any religion, any politics, right? Uh, yeah, and any education. Yeah, cool. All right. So, do you guys have anything to say? I mean, we love language and stuff. Can you imagine that I met this woman at my house? It's like universe. You know, how much are we asking for to show up in our lives? That's on our doorstep. And what about opening the door and letting that in? What we've been asking for. Hi. Yeah. I might just call her again. Yeah. The one of the things that has been showing up since I was thinking about this, because I was like, wow, I chose this theme, and then I met her right after choosing this theme. So I said, okay, I will invite her come come and talk with me. And I said, wow, you know, the conversation about infinite being versus soul, there's a um, there's a perspective on that we talk about a lot in Access, which the soul, and even there was a movie, right, where the soul has a weight. You know, when someone actually the body expires and the soul goes away, there's, you know, some weight that leaves the body. However, this conversation that Sonia and I have been having also is how much is that weight, does that weight of the soul actually, while we're here, you know, allow us to connect with this earth, right? And also connect with a vibration that other bodies and people on this planet actually have. So if we don't make it more real and important than who we are as infinite beings, or who our body, what our body is, or our minds, but recognize that it's all part of us, and how can we utilize that really to live in harmony. There are paths in life, none are quite the same, yet each one leads to harmony. Come now and listen, yes must be, you won't hear us wishing for things that cannot be, that sings for all that hear us equally. Love awaits all who live in perfect harmony.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you, yes. We are the champions, my friends. We'll keep on driving to the end. I got you. I got you. We got you. We'll make it work. We will make it work. Believe me. And how cool is that? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with your audio, babe.
It's really magic because I'm muted.
One of the things about music for me that has been always so vital is also the what it activates in my body. And so movement of the body is in constant activation, and music allows it to not only inside move but also outside. Does anyone want to add anything about music for in your life, or how that's shown up for you? Yeah, Tomas?
Well, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Uh, I don't, I don't have a direct answer to that. It's like it's so big and immense that's different. It's difficult to just say, hey, music shows up in my life this way. But when I am singing, when I am listening to some music, I get to this level of connection with myself that I didn't get before, well, these last few months when I am in connection with myself, actually, without the music. Also, when I was a teenager, I was so, introspective and insecure and stuff, but I sang or I heard some music in particular. My favorite band, which is a metal band, for example, um, that made me feel so secure and so strong and so connected to myself. And I didn't know another way to get to that. So that got me through a lot of time in my life,
Yeah,
like half of my
absolutely.
life.
Absolutely. And when we do the access bars, right? And we say don't use music when you're doing that, because music has the capacity to turn off some of the implanted points of view that you have, right? That the bars can help you release and get rid of. But that is such a gift also from the music. You might not be getting bars 24 hours a day, access bars. If you don't check it out, it's great. But it allows relaxation, you know. Um, it depends on what kind of music that you're seeking. Jazz music, I love jazz music. I love dance music. I love all kinds of music, and even this yodeling, which I'm sorry that we're not hearing.
So,
Just wondering, we didn't hear all of your yodeling, unfortunately.
I don't know, it was magic because I was playing, I didn't touch anything. So I didn't do anything here on the computer. I don't know why.
I don't know if you want to, does the yodel, what is it time for us to hear some yodeling?
Too much energy.
Did you want to share? Did you want to share that with us? Or I know you had a couple of other things that you wanted to share.
I thought of some other song. It is a Kurdish song. Yeah. I learned it from a friend, a Kurdish friend from Turkey. It's in Zazaki dialect. Yeah. And it's about the love and the hope. And it's a very easy song. I have the words here. Yeah. I can't show it like this. Yeah. And it's in a rhythm which is quite strange for the Europeans. It's in the 5/8. Cairo, Istanbul, Cairo, Istanbul, Cairo, Istanbul, Cairo, Istanbul. Yeah. To heaven, to heaven, to heaven, to Hesret, to Biru, Bavaria, Minujian. To heaven, to heaven, to heaven, to Hesret, to Biru, Bavaria, Minujian.
Wow. Wow. What did that bring up for people? What does that bring up for you?
You know, this song, I show you now, I have this woman circle. Wait, I show you some pictures now, so you can, share screen. No, I don't do it. So this song, I was playing in a park in Austria with my singing group. I have a woman singing circle. So there was some Arab woman coming and singing with us, and my Kurdish friend, I was singing a song with her. And suddenly there were other two women, and one woman started crying.
Wow.
Started crying, and after we spoke to her, she was from Serbia. She couldn't understand the song, the words, but something touched her inside deeply. She was touched by the song, and we couldn't speak about the reason, but I think that music sometimes triggers something. It's possible to trigger some emotions which are like closed inside. So when you have some bad experience, perhaps, and you get a shock, or you don't want to feel this, you just cover it. And I think one part of our soul is getting separated. It's like split it. And when you get in contact again with this feeling, which music helps us to get in contact with this feeling again, something opens and helps us to connect, to integrate this splitted part again. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, that's lovely. So it's almost like a healing.
Yeah.
You're talking about it's like a healing. It's like a closing of a wound, right? Bringing two parts together. That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
And therefore, I think it helps people to be more present also, like your mother, you were speaking before about your mother.
Yeah.
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 It's like bringing them back, so connected. Yeah. Putting the parts together and being connected, with ourselves. Like Thomas said before, it helps us to be connected, integrated on the personal level with myself. I connect the parts inside. It helps me to connect the parts inside. And when I'm connected to my soul, it's more easy to get connected with the other souls of people, of course, because the souls are connected, I think.
Right. There's so much that comes up. We know it's a much larger conversation than an hour talk.
Yeah.
But a couple of the things that come up, right? Just even thinking about this soul infinite being, that music, like you were saying, 5/8, it's a different, it's a different sound, it's a different beat than a lot of people are used to, but it's not new.
Yeah.
It's not non-existent.
Yes.
So when we're talking about connection and reconnecting and healing and closing gaps,
yeah,
and wounds, right? We may not be talking about just awarenesses that have gone on in this lifetime, right? Because there's so much of that rhythm that's connected with the rhythm of the earth, because before, instruments and nice ones, people use elements of the earth to create instruments, right? That then have sound to them, that you can use to have sound. So I get a little bit that if we're willing to allow the music to heal those wounds, to close those gaps, then we can choose then to move on.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things about the the soul, the immortal soul. It's sort of like that we have this feeling and obligation to come back all the time and make up for the damage done in other lifetimes, or responsibilities not taken care of, etc. But what if we don't have to ride that train all the way, to the last stop? What if we're able to really just receive the gift without even having a cognitive awareness of what that gift is that the music does for us, Because a lot of times people hear, and this is the other thing that came up for me, and just let me know what you get, is that when people write music or create music, there's something that inspired them to create the music.
Yeah.
Right? There's something, some life experience that inspired them. It could be love, it could be fear, it could be, wounded, the love songs. How many love songs are there? It could be, like we're saying, it could be a resonance of the vibration of the planet too. So there's so much music, and it all different music. However, the base is probably quite common. So it's in different languages, from different perspectives. Like you said, that woman showed up and she might not have understood, Serbian. She might not have understood cognitively the language of the song, but the vibe of it was something she's experienced in this lifetime or some other, or,
Yes.
Or maybe she knew someone who had that vibration.
Yes.
Maybe she met someone who had that vibration, and they had experienced something that this song is talking about.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting.
Yeah. And there's another interesting point I realized. When you connect with people by singing and you share a vibration, there can be many differences, but you can discuss very intensely. But it's possible on this connection. For example, I was traveling with a Chechenian woman, an Afghan woman, a Syrian man, and an Austrian woman. we did some traveling in Austria and we had some concerts in Salzburg. And we were really connected deeply because we were singing and we had a lot of fun. Also the Chechenian woman, she loved singing because she told me in her village in Chechnya, she was always singing. But then everything was stopped and in Austria she stopped singing. So she had the possibility to sing again. And we did also a Chechenian song with her. So this is another point when people are listening a song which is very, very close to them in their own language, they get touched very easily. It's like a home marker, a marker who's marking home. It's a space of comfort, a space of security. Yeah. So when we were singing this Chechenian song with her, you can imagine she was becoming really shining. Her son was very proud seeing her because usually she wasn't speaking anything. She wasn't blockaded really. She couldn't speak really. Yeah. But when she started singing, she got out of her. She was beautiful. Yeah. So we were traveling together, and we were really deeply connected. And coming back to us to the car, we had a really big discussion about religion. Because the Afghan woman, she was Shiite, she was from Shia religion. The Chechenian was Sunni religion. The Syrian man was Alevism, perhaps it's also kind of, different tradition, religious tradition. And we had this Catholicism, and the discussion was really emotional. Also, the Chechenian woman tried to bring in with her opinion with the little words she knew. She was very present. And in the end, when we came to Vienna, the discussion was finished. We were not separated by the discussion. We were not more far away. We were still connected. So imagine being connected helps us to come over these differences also. We can accept differences. We don't have to be the same. We can accept that the other one has another opinion because I'm connected to this person deeply. And this is magic for me. And this is for me is the key to peace, because we are not the same. Yeah, we have someone wants to wear a heartscarf, another one wants to go naked for swimming. We are different. Everything is okay. But when we are connected to each other, I let you be like you are. And our soul is connected. This is important, but the body, the outside shape is different and the opinion is different, but the soul is connected. And this is a very important experience I had. I wanted to share to you.
Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. So the soul and the space between your molecules in your body, your being, and your heart, and your body, and your mind, and the vibration that you are, how much of that can you connect with to really recognize that you're home here and you're home everywhere.
Yeah.
And that you and everyone and everything in the world is connected. You know, there's lots of flies and bees and things flying around here. And whenever you have a fly or a bee or a bird chirping, just pause for a moment, right? Because they have their own rhythm, they have their sound, they have their music actually, and they sound different, right? But they're all part of this planet. The bees sound different from the wasps, right? From the flies, from the crickets, from the different animals on the planet. They're all connected as well. And so are we. Some on 2 feet, some on 4 feet, some on many feet. Thank you so much, Sonia, for this. And really, we will be continuing and playing with more music in on one of the Dancing with Riches modules on Mondays
Oh,
in September. And so really looking forward to that. It's a world of possibilities, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, universe, for
thank you so
having this
much.
show up in my life. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for staying on and being here with us. Okay, Mwah. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.